After the San Bernardino shooting, the federal government won a court order demanding that Apple create a custom operating system that would give law enforcement a back door into the phone of shooting suspect Syed Farook. Apple has refused, and the FBI has taken them to court. Welcome to the 29th floor. I'm Casey Finey here with Fast Company's Mark Sullivan. Now, Mark, you've been following the Apple versus FBI case very closely, so let's dive right into it. This goes way beyond a mass shooting investigation. So what are the ramifications and why should we care?
We are a cell phone culture. We do everything on our cell phones, and we're keeping increasingly sensitive information on our devices as well. This might be the first step on a road to one of two very different futures. If Apple is forced to comply here, we could find ourselves down the road 5-10 years really not being able to be sure if our phones are secure, or if the next update we're getting from Apple is creating a hole where data can be accessed by some law enforcement agency. And then the other future is where we are assured that we have completely secure devices, and criminals are using smartphones too, so a lot of crucial information is being kept on those devices.
Now, Mark, you brought up an interesting point saying that this is something that is squaring off in public, and I feel like a lot of people, Tim Cook included, they were surprised that the FBI decided to let this play out in public. So how do you think that this has helped or hurt the FBI's case to let it play out in public?
We're still in the process of finding out. The reason that the FBI wanted to make this public is because they believe that the San Bernardino case has the quality of making it a good frame inside which they can make their case, and they believe that it's a very emotional case, a case where national security is at stake, and they think that with that case they have the best chance of getting people on their side, and maybe even a law passed in Congress which is favorable to their goals.
Now, Mark, this seems like a catch-22 all around, because if you side with the FBI, then it seems like you don't care about personal security. But if you side with Apple, then it seems like you don't care about counterterrorism. So I would love to just hear you kind of break down this situation, like where both sides can't seem to really win.
The reality is this is a very dicey political issue. One of the other strategies that law enforcement has taken on is trying to get the White House, trying to get Obama to take a stand on this issue and try to get him to say that, yes, law enforcement in certain cases needs a backdoor to this data. But President Obama has kept his distance from this. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So he's really not done much so far, so they've kind of given up on that strategy and are concentrating on the Congress.
So in a recent interview, when he was asked why Apple has been so defiant to build this firmware, Apple's senior vice president Eddie Q mentioned that either you have security or you don't. But I'm just wondering, is it really that binary?
Most of the security analysts that I've spoken with believe that there really is some truth in what they're saying. They're saying that it really might be sort of this situation where we're letting a genie out of the bottle and it's impossible to get it back in. I'm reminded of a quote by Justice Antonin Scalia, who in an 80s case said, "There's nothing new in the realization that the Constitution sometimes insulates the criminality of a few in order to protect the privacy of us all."
Well, Mark, this has been a truly enlightening conversation. Thank you so much, and it should be really interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, it's a fascinating issue, one we're going to be covering for the next few months, I'm sure, and thanks for having me on the show.
We also want to know what you think. So is Apple right to stand up to the FBI? Tweet us your thoughts using #29thFloor.